All right, so Gwyneth Paltrow, Goop, wellness empire.
Yeah.
From winning an Oscar to, well, a pretty polarizing figure. Like, is she changing how we think about wellness, like a visionary? Or is this all a big scheme to get rich quick?
See, that's the fascinating thing about Goop. It's this perfect example of, like, is this innovation or exploitation? Kind of reminds me of that whole grifter versus gifted debate we always talk about, right?
It totally does.
Goop started small, in 2008, just a little newsletter now.
All right.
It's this huge multi-million-dollar company. We're talking everything: e-commerce, actual stores, clothes,
Right. Podcasts.
podcasts, a Netflix series, the whole shebang.
It's crazy how big it's gotten. But is it really changing things, or is it just clever marketing? Because let's be honest, some of the things Goop sells and the stuff they say
Oh, totally.
out there.
Like way out there. Okay, let's talk about those jade and rose quartz vaginal eggs.
Oh, those.
So Goop was saying they balance hormones,
Uh-huh.
boost your sex drive, even prevent
Uterine prolapse, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And get this, they're still selling them. Like $55 for jade, $66 for the rose quartz.
No way still.
Still. After doctors were basically like, nope, none of that's true, and you might actually give yourself toxic shock syndrome.
It's kind of scary, right?
Totally.
Like people want a quick fix, the magic pill.
Yeah.
But there's no science to back it up.
Mm.
And it's not just the eggs, right?
Oh, no, not even close.
What about that psychic vampire repellent spray? That's got to be a joke.
Okay, well, that one's disappeared from the website.
Convenient.
But there's still some weird stuff on there, like that DIY coffee enema kit.
Oh, I've heard about those.
And then there were the body vibes stickers. They claimed they could, rebalance your energy or something using, get this, NASA technology.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. And former NASA scientists were like, no, we have absolutely nothing to do with that.
You got to wonder if they actually believe any of this, or if it's just to get people talking, even if it's bad press, to get more sales.
Right. Controversy sells. And Goop's gotten in trouble for it before. Like, in 2018, they had to settle a lawsuit for, $145,000 because of false advertising.
See, that's what I mean. Is Goop actually trying to change the wellness game, or are they just in it for the money?
That's the million-dollar question. And then you've got Gwyneth herself.
Right. It's like you can't talk about Goop without talking about her.
Exactly. Her whole persona is totally wrapped up in the brand.
And some of the things she said, it definitely doesn't help that image of Goop being,
Elitist, out of touch.
Yeah, like remember when she said she'd rather smoke crack than eat cheese from a tin?
How do you even come up with that?
Seriously.
It just feeds into that whole grifter image, Especially when you add in those comments she made about parties in Europe versus America.
Oh, yeah, the one where she was all like, European parties are so deep and meaningful, and American parties are just shallow and full of juicy couture.
It's like she's living on another planet.
Right.
A planet where everyone can drop $425 on a kitchen knife.
Or $7,425 on a lamp. They actually sell that on Goop.
It's wild.
It's crazy, right? But then again, that's kind of what Goop is all about, that aspirational lifestyle that most of us can only dream of. It's like they're selling a fantasy.
And people buy into it. And that's
Yeah.
where Goop's Netflix show, The Goop Lab, comes in. They just take those controversial wellness ideas and run with them.
Oh, yeah, like way further.
Psychedelics, energy healing.
Exorcisms, even.
It's definitely not your typical health documentary.
A lot of people were concerned about that show, though.
For good reason.
It's like they're presenting all these unproven treatments.
With zero scientific context.
Yeah, which could be really dangerous, especially for people who are desperate for a cure and might believe anything.
And a lot of what they present is just anecdotes, not actual research,
Right, it's all about sensationalism.
Exactly.
So we've got questionable products, outlandish statements, and a Netflix show that's basically blurring the lines between entertainment and medical advice. It's a lot to unpack. Is Gwyneth Paltrow a visionary or a con artist?
It's tough to say, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes this deep dive so interesting. We have to look at all of it, all the evidence,
Yeah.
and try to figure out what's really going on. It's easy to just focus on the crazy stuff,
Oh, absolutely.
But Gwyneth, she's built a real empire.
Yeah.
Billions in venture capital.
Yeah.
Multiple markets. There's some serious business smarts at play.
Oh, for sure. It's like turning controversy into cash.
Right.
The more Goop gets talked about, even the bad stuff,
Yeah.
it's all publicity, right?
Yeah.
More people know about them.
Exactly. And Gwyneth, she's a pro at using her fame to her advantage.
Cool.
She's positioned herself as this aspirational figure, but still relatable in this wellness space, and it works. People want what she has.
It's that Goop glow, right?
Totally.
The perfect life, but like most of us can't afford it.
Yeah.
But that's part of the appeal, right? Like, it's exclusive.
You're in the club if you can drop $425 on a night.
Or $7,425 on a lamp. But that's also why people say Goop is elitist.
Oh, for sure.
Out of touch.
Yeah.
Like, they're not targeting everyday people.
Totally. It's a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
Between that Goop image and how most of us live, and it makes that whole grifter idea even stronger. Like, they're just profiting off people's insecurities.
But they have tried to make some changes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some more affordable stuff.
Yeah, they've definitely
partnering with different brands. Maybe they're trying to reach a wider audience.
From a business standpoint, that's smart. You can't just rely on the super rich forever.
It's interesting how this all connects to what's happening in wellness overall.
Totally.
More people are into alternative medicine now, moving away from the traditional stuff.
Yeah, big time.
And Goop, they've tapped right into that.
It's not just products, it's a whole way of life.
Yeah.
Self-care, empowerment.
Right.
Taking charge of your health. That message resonates with a lot of people.
Especially now, when everything feels so crazy and stressful.
Exactly. Like, they're offering this sense of control in a world that feels out of control.
But we have to remember, not everything in wellness is good.
Oh, definitely not.
Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's safe or works.
100%. And that's where it gets tricky. That line between visionary and con artist, it gets blurry. Are they trying to help or just using people's desire for well-being to make money?
It's a tough one. I think it comes down to personal responsibility.
Definitely.
Like, people need to do their research. Don't just believe the hype. And talk to their doctor.
Absolutely. You can't just trust what celebrities are selling. Be your own health advocate.
So we've got the weird products, the personality, the business tactics. Goop is complicated, that's for sure. But grifter or gifted?
It's hard to say, right?
Yeah.
That's what's so great about this deep dive. There's evidence for both sides.
True.
Goop has definitely got people talking about alternative health, but they don't always have the science to back it up. The marketing can be misleading, and most people can't afford it.
It's like they're on this tightrope between innovation and taking advantage.
And everyone has to decide where they think Goop falls on that line.
I think we need to look at the bigger picture. Like, how has Goop affected the whole wellness industry?
That's a good point.
Have they made it better? Or just more confusing with all this pseudoscience? Goop is like a thing now, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere. People are talking about it, making memes.
Right.
It's even changed how other wellness brands do things. Like, Goop has really messed with how we think about wellness.
It's like Goop has tapped into this, like, need to belong.
Yeah.
People want to be part of something, you know? And Goop is like this exclusive club, and the price tag is just part of it.
But that whole exclusivity thing, it has a downside, right?
Definitely.
People say Goop pushes these impossible beauty standards.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you have to be perfect, look young forever. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, a lot of their products are all about fixing things like wrinkles or weight instead of just accepting yourself.
It's like they're playing on people's insecurities.
Totally. And that quick fix mentality, it's everywhere in wellness.
Right.
It's all about selling you solutions, whether you need them or not.
And that's what makes people think Goop is a scam.
Right. Like, they're using people's desire to be healthy and happy just to make money.
So how do we know what's real and what's fake, especially with all these celebrities pushing stuff that might not even work?
It's all about asking questions.
Yeah.
Don't just believe what you see. Look for evidence. Talk to your doctor, you know.
That's good advice.
And trust your gut if something feels too good to be true.
It probably is.
Exactly.
True wellness isn't about a quick fix. It's like a journey.
Yeah.
It's about taking care of yourself and finding what works for you, not what some celebrity is telling you to do.
Exactly. It's personal.
So what's the big takeaway from all this Goop stuff?
Think for yourself.
Yeah.
Make informed decisions whether you love Goop or hate it. You're the one who has to live with the choices you make about your health.
That's a good point. So that wraps up our deep dive into the world of Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop.
It's been a wild ride.
For sure. Remember, stay informed, stay curious, and take care of yourself. Thanks for listening.